This is going to be a very quick DaVinci Resolve audio and video import and editing session. We're going to make it 10 minutes, so just kind of use it as a guideline to help you with your reference going back to Resolve. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so most of you guys have already gone through this process. I'm only going to be talking about things we've already went over in class here. So we're going to launch our Resolve project. Okay, go over here, and yours may not look like this when you first start. So let's go in and let's go to File, New Project. Okay, so I'm gonna call this Jazz Fest Edit for RTF 255 Summer 1. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and create that. So now I have a clean slate. There's nothing there. So first thing you want to do is come in and double check to make sure at the very bottom down here that you're on the edit window. It's the third one from the left. Okay, make sure you got your media pool to the left. Right here you have your player right here, your source player. You have your program viewer, and then here you have your timeline. Over here we have our audio, and over here we have our effects control panel, or in this case it is called our toolbox. Okay, and over here we talked about this the other day. This is your actual bin, so we can create new folders, and I showed you guys how to do B-roll, how to do your A-roll. Okay, all right, so just quick reference, that's what that is. Pool, media pool right here. This is going to be your source viewer, program viewer. Over here is your timeline, graphical view, and up here you're going to have your visual view. Okay, and all these things right here we'll just kind of talk about. The main thing you're going to want to know is this pointer tool right here. Okay, that is the one that's the selection tool. If you highlight that, if you're anywhere and you lose your way in editing and your pointer tool is not showing up, just go back right here and then hit your selection tool. Okay, and it's A as a shortcut. And we're talking about Mac shortcuts here, not PC shortcuts, just FYI. Okay, let's get started. All right, so I'm going to come in, get some material in. So what do? We go File, Import, Media, or I can come over here and right-click and then do Import Media right here as well. Okay, so let's do that, and let's go navigate to my desktop and let's go find the video, and let me see where I put it. For you guys, it's going to be Jazz Edit Practice. Okay, it's right here. I'm going to go into my media files, and here are my clips right here. Then I'm going to hit Open. All right, it's going to ask me if I want to change the frame rate. You're going to say yes. Hit Change Frame Rate. Basically, what that does, it gives you with the frame rate you shot in, it's going to give you that ability. So if I shot and we talk about 24p or 30, that's what that is. So if we chose 24p when we were shooting, which in most cases we will, then when we edit, we want to edit in 24p. There are going to be times where you're going to change it, but not right now. All right, so real quick, we're going to go now, and it's going to go File, and we're going to create a new timeline. File, New Timeline. Okay, come in, let's do this. Let's give it Jazz Fest Edit. I'm going to call this 1001, okay, for me, whatever that might be. All right, and number of video tracks, let's stick with 1, but there are going to be times where we're going to start using 2 and more than 2. Okay, 2 audio channels for now. Let's do that, and then we're going to come over and we're going to go mono. Okay, mono is where we want to go, mono, and then we're going to hit Create. Okay, this is all you have to do in this window. This is all you have to do in this window right now. Let's go ahead and hit Create. Now we have an active timeline. Remember, video 1 is here, audio 1 is here. If I want to move something to audio 2, then I just select it. Okay, these are your selectors right here. So in this case, I want to move it to audio 2. So let's do that. And we're going to cut just a quick little documentary, just like we did for class. Very easy. We're going to find our first shot. Okay, let me find a shot that works. And always find where you want the video to start and make sure it's clean. Okay, you don't want to put an edit in and it's not clean. The camera's moving around 1,000 places. Okay, remember, if you hold down Shift and move left or right arrow keys, then it's going to go 10 frames. If I go just hold down the arrow keys, it goes frame by frame. Okay, all right, so here we go. So I'm going to find my first shot. Okay, close. Right there. Okay, so right here I'm going to stop. I'm going to set an endpoint I. Okay, I'm going to let it play. I'm going to make this shot about 4 seconds. Okay, start right here. Okay, so I'm gonna out O. All right, so we're gonna put this on channel 2. So I'm gonna go and hit F10. All right, you can't see me doing that, but in your case, function F10, which is the FN F10, FN F10, and the FN stands for function. All right, or if you want to bring it down to the timeline, you can hit this window right here, overwrite clip. Right here, you can do that one, or what I taught you guys before, left click and drag into the program viewer and release it. Automatically, it selects overwrite. See that? Automatically, overwrite is it's lit up, and it's going to do an overwrite automatically. If you want to do put a clip at the end or insert a clip, you can do that as well. But right now, 95% of your editing is overwrite. Here we go. Drop that. Hey, there's our first clip. Okay, so right here, I feel like I'm going to fade my audio down so I can bring in my first soundbite. Let's do that. All right, now when I go over at the bottom right here and I look at my audio too, if I hover over the line, and you guys can make these bigger too if you want to just do this. Okay, you can make this just a little bit bigger. Let me go up here. There we go, and move that up, okay? All right, so this line right here, if I hover over that white line, I'm gonna get an up and down arrow. What that allows me to do is increase my audio and decrease my audio, which you're increasing the volume of that clip only, not the entire timeline, just that clip, okay? So I'm gonna increase it just a little bit, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do, put a keyframe because I want the audio to fade down. Just like you're going to fade your audio up or down, I'm sorry, if you're gonna increase your volume up or down, you come in, you can just hold down your option and get your up and down arrows, and what you can do is just left click, it adds a little red dot, which is a keyframe, then go forward in time, go on the timeline right here, go just a little bit further, hold down option again on the Mac, option on the Mac, left click, on a PC is gonna be Alt, A-L-T, Alt, okay? Hover over that white line again, and now I'm just gonna bring it down. So you see that? So now my audio is gonna be loud right here, and then it's gonna fade down, getting ready for me to put my soundbite in. Here we go. Okay, there it is. Now, you wanna put your now line, the red line right here, you wanna put your now line right in between where your audio is fading right here. You see that? Right in between there. And so what you're gonna do now is, let's pick a soundbite. So before I do that, I'm gonna change my audio direction here, and I'm going to select audio 1. Okay, remember audio 1 is main audio, interview, a narrator, a reporter, anything with main sound, it goes on 1. Anything with natural sound, like sound from the scene, like in this case the music is a natural sound, or if you have music, any kind of music that you might import that you might want to use, that would be considered on channel 2 or 4 as well. Okay, all right, so let's go and bring a soundbite in. Let's go and use this brother right here. Okay, so let's go forward.
Your music, own it. History is yours, own it. So that's why I try to be unapologetically free with everything to this day.
So you have a different background. So you came up through. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. He's talking about.
Funny thing is, man,
jazz is like that.
The funny thing is, man.
Okay, right here. Okay, so I can use my arrow keys and get right where he's saying jazz. Or I'm gonna show you guys a quick trick that I haven't shown you before. Go right here, and this little tool right here. Drop down on that one, and then hit your audio track. It's gonna bring up the waveform so you can see it. Okay, so now.
The funny thing is, man.
So right there, I can see it. I can see the waveforms. He says jazz is. So I'm gonna set my endpoint I. Okay, and I'm gonna play it.
Jazz is a word to me, because some of the forefathers of this music, they didn't even like that word.
Right there, they didn't like that word. So I can clearly say, without a doubt, that that's where he stopped. So I'm going to say, so let's go back to this little tool right here and go back to your source. So let's go ahead and put that edit in. All right, function F10 or drag and release it right here, and we're going to do that. All right, so let's go back and listen to it. Here we go.
Jazz is a word to me, because...
Okay, audio is a little bit loud on my natural sounds. I'm going to bring it down a little bit more so it won't be dominating over him. Remember, let me turn it back up so you guys can hear it. Watch my audio meters over here.
Jazz is a word to me.
Okay, so we want that natural sound when it's full, it can be up to 10 right here. That's fine. But when that natural sound is just underneath him talking, we want it between -40 and -30. Right now it's at -20, so I need to bring it down some more. And I don't want it competing with him. Okay, I want to hear him clearly. Here we go.
Jazz is a word to me, you know.
So much better.
Some of the forefathers of this music.
And right here, we're going to fade that audio down. See how it fell out?
To me, you know, because some of the forefathers
just cut out. So what I'm going to do is hover over this little line right here, and there's a small little effects you can do that allows you to put an audio fade on it. It's going to fade out. So let me do that, and now listen to it. It's going to sound smooth.
Word to me, you know, because some of the forefathers of this music, they didn't even like that word.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to add one more natural sound break. This is your assignment you guys have been working on. So I'm going to add one more natural sound break right here. And let's go add right here. How about this one? To the end point. Okay, so the out point. Now we're going to switch that audio and we're going to move it to channel 2. Okay, which we just did. Yeah, right here. All right, so I'm going to hit F and F10 right there. Whoops, I need to add my audio. There we go. So F and F10. Okay, good. And let's go back and look at it.
Forefathers of this music, they didn't even like that word.
Okay, so good. I'm gonna fade it right here. Remember to hover over the line, Option, left click, go forward, Option, left click, and then I'm gonna fade it down. Okay?
They didn't even like that word.
Okay, that fade right there, let's go ahead and make that a little bit longer. I can move these keyframes too if I want. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna put it right in the middle. So I know I'm gonna have to bring the audio down a little bit more, so I'm going to do that now. Bring it down, and there we go. Now we're ready to put our...
They didn't like that word.
Our sound bite goes right here. Let's go ahead and find sound bite here.
Think about Monterey. They think about Monterey Pops, that festival.
Here we go.
Well, they modeled their festival after the Monterey Jazz Festival. In fact, our crew, the people who worked on the marketing for the original jazz festival, were the crew and the people who worked on Monterey Pops.
Okay, that's it right there. So we're going to hit an out point right here. You're going to go back and put audio on channel 1. And then we're going to go ahead and hit F and F10. And there we go. And let's go look at it.
Well, they modeled their festival.
Remember, we're going to add this fade right here, fade it all the way out.
After the Monterey Jazz Festival.
That's good. All right, so let's go back and look at that. And watch the shapes. I have, notice that audio 1 is only going to be used for main audio. Look at that. So watch my shapes. I got my natural sound right here on channel 2, and I have my video on 1. There's a lot of things we can do with editing that's going to be more advanced, but this is the basics of putting together a short documentary, which is what I want you guys to do. Okay, here we go.
In fact,
let's go back to the very beginning of it. Move the now line. Here we go.
Jazz is a word to me, you know, because some of the forefathers of this music, they didn't even like that word.
Well, they modeled their festival after the Monterey Jazz Festival. In fact, our crew, the people who worked on the marketing for the original jazz festival, were the crew and the people who worked on Monterey Pops.
Okay, real quick, if I hold down Command F, guess what? I can go full screen. All right, so if I'm looking at any video right here, I can go Command F and I can get full screen. And to get out of it, go ahead and hit Escape or Command F again. Okay, all right, that's gonna do it for this quick lesson, folks. I'm gonna show you one more quick thing here. If you wanted to add, let's say, more B-roll in here while this guy's talking, let's come over.
Jazz is a word to me, you know, because some of the...
Right there, jazz is the word. Now I wanna cover that, okay? So I'm gonna set an endpoint on the timeline now. Before we were doing it on the source, now we're doing it on the timeline. Okay, now I'm gonna hit spacebar again.
Forefathers of this music.
The spacebar, once again, is to play, is how you play.
They didn't even like that word.
Okay, they didn't even like that word. So I'm gonna go right here, set an out point right here, and I'm gonna turn down, I'm gonna put it on my channel 2, and I'm just gonna find a clip. I'm gonna find anything, how about right here? Okay, but right here, set an endpoint. And I'm not going to set an out point because I have an endpoint and an out point here on my timeline. You don't need to have 4, okay? So I'm going to hit F and F10. So now I'm going to cover that. I know I need to bring the audio down because it's going to be loud. Let's go and do that now. Okay, there we go. All right, let's look at it now. Here we go.
Jazz is a word to me, because some of the forefathers of this music, they didn't even like that word.
Okay, there you go. So that's how you would cover or adding B-roll to your story. All right, the last thing is, I think we've already talked about this, but I'll go over it again. Go to the very end where it says deliver, hit deliver. And now notice I have an endpoint and out point set. You go, whoa, okay, what does that mean? If I render out right now, the only thing I'm going to see is from here to there. Okay, so to get rid of that, you're going to hit your option I, option O. So just like you do an in and out, the reverse of that is option I, option O. Okay, so take it back to the beginning, make sure everything is there. Go to H.264. Go to file name, give it Jazz Edit. I think we said 1001. And then browse, put it on our desktop, hit save. Then we're going to go down. All these are fine right here. Okay, then we go down to add to render queue. Okay, and we're going to come over here and we're going to go render all. All right, it's going to render it out. And from this point, everyone that has your YouTube site set up, go ahead and upload to YouTube and then send it to me in Blackboard. If I've given you special permission for those that are having challenges with that, I have a Dropbox link that I'm going to create for every assignment, or a box link that you can upload. You just got to put your name in there so I know it's yours, and then the assignment. Okay? All right, that's going to conclude this this session, guys. Thank you. I'm going to stop my recording, and we'll see you in class.